Like we were right, it's hit the fan. So let's dive in and talk about it. Oh, how we laughed at President Biden doing a triple stumble on the stairs. That could be Trump for all I care at this moment. He is stumbling and bumbling and fumbling. Well, he did manage to turn one person today. You know who that was? Someone who's very intelligent. Someone whose intellectual capacity really is admirable. Charlie Kirk. But Charlie Kirk said he's no longer going to talk about the Epstein client list because someone in the administration talked him into being quiet. What does that tell you? It tells you that people will do as they're told. People can be bribed, threatened, or coerced. And it comes down to integrity, folks. It comes down to integrity. Dan Bongino, he's smart. He knows better. Yet he lied for months and months. Did he quit today, Uman? I didn't see anything about him quitting. We're going to find out. Integrity. Kash Patel. I've heard him talk. I've heard him shut people down. He's smart. But he has no integrity, does he? Pam Bondi. I've heard her put the Democrats in the Senate in their place. She's not dumb, but she's a sellout. As far as I'm concerned, she's perfectly happy with pedophiles not being exposed. America not seeing justice. The children that were raped and had their lives ruined and worse, she doesn't care. She sleeps great at night, knowing that the pedophiles on the client list are still out there and they're still raping away. And she's fine with it because, let's move on. Well, a lot of very important and powerful people are not moving on. And I wanted you to know that. Really, honestly, let's start with this. Roger Stone, a huge President Trump supporter at one point. I don't know if he still is, but he was. He is asking President Trump to release the court filings from the Department of Justice in the Epstein case, right? This is the Epstein case that the Department of Justice and Jim Comey's daughter, Maureen Comey, is keeping secret, right? We're not giving up on this. We're not going away. Charlie Kirk, you're done. Benny Johnson, you're good. They kind of look alike, right? And Gen Z and the millennials that are conservatives are not falling for this a bit. They are sticking to their guns. It's like, we've got the rest of our lives. You're going to die in a few years, Trump. They've got the rest of their lives, and they don't want to live with this shit. They don't want to have families with this shit. They want the problems fixed. And that's the deal. You and I, we look at the world and we solve our problems in our own world. We want to retire, we better invest properly. You want to live a good life, make good decisions. We can only control ourselves, right? And they're like, you know what? We're not going to vote for this shit. We're not going to support this shit because they've got the rest of their lives to suffer under it. Government, they couldn't give a fuck. They're just getting money. That's their whole role. Get money. Status quo. Get money, status quo. People are screaming for the Epstein client list disclosure. And a lot of big shots are not accepting the just move on and shut up reasoning. Oh, it's getting juicy, folks. It's getting juicy. General Mike Flynn, right? And his son also are all over social media. But General Mike Flynn is urging Trump. He says, we need to confront this Epstein cover-up. and I think this is a paraphrase, but it's an accurate one, that our nation, the United States of America, cannot be healed or fixed or recovered until these pedophile elites are held accountable for their crimes. I'm not making this shit up, right? I paraphrased General Flynn because I don't have the quote, but I paraphrased him. He is warning that the nation cannot be healed until these pedophiles are held accountable. Big shots are not letting this shit slide. Period. In fact, Elon Musk, he's not going away. I don't like his America party. It's bullshit. Right? I've had problems with Elon Musk's thinking in a lot of ways, but he's right about this. Here's his quote. Just release the files as promised. You promised. You break a fucking promise, and people are going to call you out on it. They're not going to trust you anymore, and people are pissed off at Trump now. It's gone from being pissed at Dan Bongino and Cash and done being pissed at Pam Bondi. Now people are pissed at Trump. They followed the buck back to where it stops. Oh, yeah. So Elon Musk, Roger Stone, General Flynn, the list is going and growing, but get this. You're going to love this. Jamie, dumbass Democrat Raskin, this slovenly sack of shit. Don't like him at all. He is demanding that they subpoena Pam Bondi, Cash, and Dan to go to Congress and testify about the Epstein files. I 100% approve of this. 100% good job, Jamie dumbass Raskin. Right? Let the Democrats keep the talk up. Yes, it's hurting Trump. Only in the polls. He still eats the same food and sleeps in the same bed. He still gets all the rest, whatever. Right? But it's not letting the issue die. It's keeping the talk going. Let the Democrats keep the talk. Right? Puts the pressure on Trump. Yeah, Trump is hurting his own reputation. I'm not doing it. You're not doing it. Nobody is doing it. Trump is doing it. He could exonerate himself. He could become hero status again. Release the list, all the names, so we know who needs to be prosecuted, and then demand their prosecution, right? We need to demand the real list. And folks, if the Democrats actually get their way, Jamie Raskin anyways, and they subpoena, I'm going to start a new one, man. Bondi, Patel, and Bongino are the three stooges. They're the three fucking stooges, and someone needs to do a meme of them as the three stooges. They need to get them in Congress and provide the list so the Democrats can leak the list, right? Because that's what they would do. You know they would. Oh, it's incredible, folks. And also, Jizzy Maxwell. That's right, the woman who is in jail for child sex trafficking to nobody. Apparently, there's no victims, there's no clients, and there's no crime, but she was convicted of it and thrown in prison. She's ready to testify in front of Congress, and she's asking Congress to bring her in. The Clintons fully oppose this, by the way. The Clintons do not want her testifying. Right? But it would be great if she did. Blow the lid off this entire pedophile network and expose them. Bring it. Bring Jizzy Maxwell. I think that she should actually do an interview with, I don't know, who should she do an interview with? Let her spill the beans. By the way, Jizzy Maxwell committed suicide. It's not for another 2 weeks, but she committed suicide, and it's a horrific thing. Right? Get Ghislaine Maxwell in Congress in front of him, and guess what? Nothing will change. Nothing will happen. She'll testify. She could even name names. She could talk about how many children went to the island, how many big shots. It was hundreds. It was thousands. It was tens of thousands over years and years of running children through there. No one will get arrested. Congress will do nothing. All they're going to do is host an entertainment special. The only good that could come out of this is public awareness will grow, the demands will get louder, and Trump is going to have to continue to eat mountains of shit over this. Mountains of shit. More. It just keeps getting fucking better. Oh, by the way, get your questions below, your comments below, your thoughts below, your everything. Get them into the comment section. If you're at thepreparedmind.club, subscribestar.com as premium members, you can be here live Monday through Friday, and hundreds and even thousands of people will hear what you want to talk about, what's going on. Let's continue with the Epstein saga. An Israeli prime minister, a former one, not the current one, is pissed off that there are allegations that the Epstein Island is connected to Mossad. He bitched about it. He responded. And guess what? It was such a shallow, shitty defense that Megyn Kelly poked holes in his bullshit story. Right? And by the way, YouTube is now warning me that my discussions are too controversial. And I'm sure they mean Israel and Epstein. So I'm expecting them to turn up their silencing of the world, their censorship. I'm expecting that. I know X is not doing that. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people there that don't want to be friends with us. But YouTube, as the truth and demand for it comes out, YouTube starts to censor. They did this with Comet Ping Pong. Oh, yeah, back during the Trump first administration, Comet Ping Pong. They shut it down, censored, silenced, punished, took away money, everything. So I'm now expecting them to remove videos soon because they are not going to want us to continue to talk about this. Now, with respect to this, well, with no respect to this Israeli prime minister, I believe it was Ehud Barak. Everyone know who Ehud Barak is? He was a former Israeli prime minister. And guess where he was filmed, photographed, seen, witnessed? Entering Jeffrey Epstein's New York home. Now, if he just walked down the street, walked up the steps and entered, would anyone think anything of it? Ehud Barak, it just happens to be friends with a New York billionaire. No surprise there, right? What did Al Sharpton call it? Heine Town. Anyways, yeah. Why would that surprise anybody? People go to New York all the time and visit. They visit friends and family, sure. Except Ehud Barak was wearing sunglasses and wearing a scarf over his face, trying to hide his identity as he snuck into Jeffrey Epstein's house. Yeah. It just becomes suspicious, does it not? Oh, it's crazy, folks. Absolutely bullshit crazy what's going on. I tell you, I think Trump is under threat of assassination. All he has to do, though, is come out and tell America, I am being threatened with assassination. My family is being threatened with assassination. The Trump administration is being threatened with terrorism. We are being threatened with being bombed over this whole Epstein affair. Come clean. Tell the American people and tell them who the people are. Right? That clears it up. If someone was threatening me from the FBI, I would come right to you guys and go, hey, the FBI called me, sent me an email, made a phone call, and threatened me. If I get arrested or end up suicided, it wasn't me that did it. The FBI did it. Or the CIA did it. or right, whoever it was, I'll let you guys know. That way it puts the heat back on them. Kill me. I'm not going to know any difference because I'll be dead. You guys will know the difference, right? Life is for the living. Trump can give life back to this nation. But there are evil forces. President John F. Kennedy was assassinated, not by foreigners, folks, but by his own cabinet, his own men. LBJ directly involved. The Secret Service directly involved. The CIA directly involved. And participants that were willing in both the cover-up and assassination were the Dallas Police Department, the Italian Mafia, and Cuban exiles. And there were also hitmen involved and brought in. These were CIA assets, right? Why? Because JFK would not give the bad guys what they wanted. Trump is giving the bad guys what they want, which is silence. But understand, JFK was killed by the Secret Service. They were part and parcel to letting down the security, violating security protocol, removing security, and now we've got this. Project Veritas at it again, exposing what I consider to be treason, considering who the person is. Text messages were disclosed, giving operational details, to a stranger. And this text message also talked shit. It disparaged President Trump. And they accidentally got sent to the wrong person. Well, this text message that disclosed operational details came from a Secret Service agent. When you're a Secret Service agent and you've got operational details about the president, where he's going to be, what's going on, what he's doing, what his schedule is, everything else. Folks, this is how assassinations happen. And this is how we discover things. Remember the Secret Service detail that was supposed to protect Trump in Butler County? Failed. They've absolutely failed. 6 of them are on suspension. Who gives a fuck? Prosecute them, fire them, do something. Suspending with pay. Oh, ouch. Suspend me with pay. I'll go and fucking sit at the beach and drink some fucking brewskis and shit. Right? It didn't hurt these guys. This is, as far as I'm concerned, treason. When you let that information out, you weaken security and allow the enemy to what? You allow the enemy, whoever they may be, opportunity. So this agent is providing opportunity. I wonder how many more agents are anti-American, anti-Trump, anti-freedom, etc. Crazy business. Now, this was interesting. I did mention Charlie Kirk, that he is no longer going to talk about the Epstein thing, right? Well, just this weekend, Charlie Kirk and the CEO of Rumble discussed both free speech and censorship. Funny that Charlie Kirk just had this discussion with the CEO of Rumble. And if the truth sets us free, me and you, us, the people, the opposite of that, censorship enslaves us. Silence enslaves us. And Charlie Kirk is now going to be silent about children being raped by rich men. And I sure hope Chris Pavlovsky, the CEO of Rumble, keeps his platform open, right? Because when you silence everyone, you silence morality as well as whatever else that's bad, right? And Trump is trying to silence us too. That is never good for freedom. And it certainly does nothing to protect little boys and little girls. It does nothing. Never in my life have I seen children more at risk than today. Now, I know from my personal life, I know people that were kidnapped and got free, kidnapped and got released, kidnapped. But I know people. In fact, one person I know was kidnapped twice, once as a child and once as an adult even. And she's very lucky that she got away in both cases. Another one was a girl who was kidnapped by someone that had stalked her, and she was lucky she jumped out of a moving van to get away. That was years and years ago. But now, folks, we've got foreigners in this country from North Africa, from the Middle East, from the Far East. They'll kidnap little boys and girls. They'll rape them. They'll murder them. They don't care. And when people see that, it is supposed to, and it should, and it does, make you very upset, pissed off, and even nauseated that someone could be that kind of scum. But those are third world, low IQ morons. That doesn't excuse their crime, but it helps explain, what the fuck is wrong with them. But these Epstein client people, guess what? They're not low IQ. They're supposed to be smart. Billionaires even. But this is what they choose. This is what they choose, folks. Even Wayne Root. Does everyone know who Wayne Root is? Syndicated columnist, super famous, really smart. I think he went to school with Obama, Barry Soetoro at Columbia University. I think they were classmates even. Not that he liked Obama, but he knew he was there. In any event, Wayne Root, and I think he's also Jewish. He wrote an article, Why the Epstein File Matters and Why President Trump Must Release It. And I'm going to add the word now. Now. Right? Let's just say analogy. Get a flat tire. You're supposed to pull off the road very quickly so you can change it. If you keep running down the road on a flat tire, you're going to ruin not just the tire, but also the wheel and possibly cause other damage to the car. Trump has definitely got something wrong. And he continues to drive forward on it. Even hitting the accelerator. He's fucking himself up in this country. Truly fucking things up. Right? What do you guys want to talk about? We have gone through so much bullshit. We have gone through so much bullshit together, all of us. The fucking COVID lockdowns, the fucking vaccination lockdowns. We put up with the fucking economy being attacked. We've had to put up with lie after lie out of Congress, out of the Supreme Court, out of the White House. We watched our world get turned into a rainbow-colored fruitcake fest with fucking drag queens talking to children at school, exposing their genitals to kids, fucking fruitcakes in their pride parades on the street, wagging their dicks in children's faces. We've had to put up with this transgender shit, telling us, oh, it's safe, it's good, it's fine, it's fun. That, by the way, is a big part of the Jewish Talmud. They think that shit's great. They think there's 8 genders. Yeah, there's some problems there, folks. I won't get into that one too much. But here we are. We had to put up with all that shit. And we still got Trump reelected, and he won't release the fucking list. Why? Give us the real reason why. Trump, at least be honest with that. Hey, they're threatening the world with nuclear annihilation. Hey, we aren't going to release it because they'll crash the economic system, steal all your money, destroy the country economically. If that's the case, tell us. Tell us so we can go, oh, okay, I guess we have to choose between having some stuff and having all of our kids raped. Just wow. Oh, and not to mention the diversity, equity, and inclusion, right? You must hire retarded fruitcakes from other countries and low IQ numbskulls out of the ghetto and dumbasses that don't know if they have an innie or an outie, right? And by the way, the diversity, equity, inclusion, we're going to continue to have performance issues come up. Over the weekend, believe it or not, another airplane crashed, this time in London at the Southend Airport. The moments after taking off, airplane crashes. I don't know, maybe Ketanji Jackson Brown can quit the Supreme Court and she can be a pilot. Right? Remember, she's the idiot who makes her Supreme Court of the United States. She makes her Supreme Court rulings based on her feelings, not the law. She should be impeached for that alone, saying she's not using law to make decisions, but rather her feelings. No joke, folks, or the joke's on us. We no longer have the Republic of the United States of America because child rape is sanctioned by the White House. It's sanctioned by the Federal Bureau of Investigation. It's sanctioned by the Department of Justice. It's sanctioned by the Attorney General. It's sanctioned by many social media commentators, notably Charlie Kirk. Doesn't he have children? Doesn't he have new children? Why would you sanction child rape by the most powerful men and women on the planet? Why would you sanction that? Why would you okay it? Why would you ignore it? Why would you let it slide? And if you can't see that that's a crime that is so heinous it must be prosecuted, I guess we're okay with all the crimes, right? Right? There's the right way and the wrong way. And this, what I'm going to tell you next, is so wrong. In New Jersey, a 60-year-old woman was surrounded by anti-immigrations and customs enforcement protesters. How many times have we heard about people has their car surrounded, they get their car destroyed, their windows smashed, the metal dented, their paint scratched, and in many cases, they are pulled out of the car and assaulted, and in some cases, murdered. So this 62-year-old woman decided not to allow herself to be a victim, and she drove through the protesters to get away from them because they had surrounded her and were pounding on her car in the state of New Jersey. Yep, she's charged. Crime. Running for her life. She's charged with a crime. That's the America we live in. That's our republic. We got some fucking moron, some foreign idiot from Africa. He looks like a black Q-tip with big, stupid, buggy eyes. Can't speak English worth shit. And he's running for mayor. How would anyone vote for someone who's not from America, doesn't speak English, and is a communist? I wonder if that guy's going to get elected. Now back to crowds pounding on your car. In Florida, we get awards. Hell, we get medals and tax breaks for running over protesters. Which state would you rather live in? A state where protesters feel encouraged and empowered to attack and assault people because they don't get arrested? Or would you rather live in a state where you're allowed to protect yourself? You can run through a crowd of people, pull over a mile away, call the police, go back and have them arrested. Literally have them arrested because they were impeding traffic. They were destroying personal property. They were threatening your life. They'll get arrested, not you, for running through these fucking idiots. God bless Florida. All right, folks, it's now your turn on the Prepared Mind channel. And we're back. And I inhaled some water. Whoops. Mr. Uman is in the house. The moderator in chief, he is. The big blue wrench man. Anyways, Mr. Oliver, what are we going to discuss? What do you guys want to talk about? Questions below come up just like this. And Big Country checks in. And he writes, John, did you see the video of Trump with the Saudi prince, I believe Prince bin Salman, right, that guy, and an unknown man with papers showing Trump? They were laughing. Trump was not happy. Tried putting the paper in his coat. Have they found the one thing? I don't know. I have not seen that video, but I know that it is being alleged that royalty from the Middle East, which may include Mohammed bin Salman, Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. I don't have any evidence. No one credible has said anything about the prince, but the rumors are out there now that it's not just Prince Andrew from England that liked to visit Epstein Island. People are alleging royalty, the princes, the crown prince, whatever, these big shot oil billionaires are also participants in the world of Epstein. Don't know. Now, as far as having a piece of paper, Trump not being happy, very well could be that they've got something on him. Who knows, right? I do not understand the humor of people from the Middle East, and I certainly don't understand the humor of the Crown Prince and others. I do know that these people are so rich that there's nothing that can be withheld from them. You know, they can do whatever the fuck they want. I guess when you're a billionaire, you can tell the government, you're not going to arrest me. It doesn't matter who I raped, how many children I hurt, you're not going to arrest me. And they get away with it. Now, normally, someone could say, John, you're full of shit. All I have to do is point to the President of the United States. Okay, buddy, you're the President of the United States, the most powerful man in the world, allegedly. You command the greatest military the planet has ever seen. From the lowly Marine rifleman and soldier, all the way to nuclear weapons. You command and control them. But you can't put a billionaire in jail for raping little children. Wow. Thank you, Big Country, very much. I'll be watching that, keeping an eye out for it, following up on all of these things. All of it. Oh, when I'm president, we're going to release that list so fast your head will spin. I remember the bullshit. I remember it. I do. Okay, Mr. Uman, who's up next? We've got Redneck Roughneck. And he writes, I wonder if the hushing on the Epstein list has to do with Ghislaine Maxwell's appeal, where she is set to testify and reveal names on the list who she thinks will make it to testify. Well, who thinks she'll make it to testify? The powers that be, the Epstein clients, I believe they're one and the same group. I don't believe they're going to allow Jizzy Maxwell to testify and name names. I would love it if they would say, well, you're coming to Congress or you're coming to court and you're going to answer questions, but you will not name any names. I hope she does. I hope she starts blurting out different names and saying, these are the clients. These are the clients. These are the clients. You know, that's hope. And look how far hope has gotten us with the Epstein case so far. What else are we failing on? Getting all the illegals out of the country. Weren't we promised that too? That was the number fucking one reason people were electing Trump, was to get the illegals out. Now he wants to give them amnesty. I told you, if he fucks up, I'm going to be all over him like white on rice. And folks, I am ricing it up. Thank you, Mr. Roughneck. I tell you. Mr. Uman. Who's up next? Well, Diving Frog. If Trump and Bondi don't release the list, doesn't it preclude they're guilty in all crimes, meaning they allow it to go on knowingly? In my opinion, because they have evidence of a crime, they have a list of names associated with those crimes. They have apparently done many investigations, and they're refusing to prosecute. They're refusing to do their jobs. The consequences of that is more people are going to be raped, more children. So they are derelict in their duty, which is a sign of incompetence, and they should be removed for that. But knowing these people have committed these crimes, and they're allowing them to run free, knowing they will continue to commit these heinous fucking crimes, raping and murdering children, they are now accessories after the fact. Because these guys are not going to stop. You think they're going to fucking stop? That makes you an accessory to the crime by facilitating it. I don't even know if I want to use the term or phrase, but I think it does apply. Giving aid and comfort, giving aid to them, allowing them to escape is giving aid to a criminal after the fact, after they've been caught, after the evidence is there, after the witness testimony, after the video evidence. Yeah, in my opinion, Trump, Bondi, Cash, Dan, all of them, if they have names, places, victims, you are an accessory after the fact, and you have aided criminals and allowed them to get away with it, and they will continue to commit heinous crimes. Yeah, all of them. All of Congress. The Biden and Biden administration. You bet. They're all accessories, accomplices. They are accomplices in this crime. And then by not releasing it, that is a cover-up. Covering up a crime, hiding a crime, is giving aid to the criminal, or criminals rather, who are engaged in the crime. To do so is a conspiracy, not as in conspiracy theory, which is very negative, but there is a crime called conspiracy. When you conspire, work with others to commit a crime, it is conspiracy to commit a crime. They're committing conspiracy to cover up massive child pedophilia in a network that has known places, times, players, everything. This isn't just about some pedophile. It's about a network of pedophilia that gathers and traffics children, takes them to specific locations where rich, powerful, scumbag, perverted, satanic, evil bastards go to rape and kill children. And the President of the United States and the Attorney General of the United States and the Director of the FBI of the United States of America are all in collusion, giving aid, conspiracy to cover up the crime and allow it to persist. I don't know if I could spell it out any more succinctly. And Charlie fucking Kirk is going, I'm not going to talk about it anymore. Why not? If we can't protect our own children, how can we trust the government to do anything else right? I don't trust them. That's why I've got a bunker. That's why I've got Spam and tuna fish stored and packed away. That's why I have a couple rounds of ammunition and a gun to protect myself. That's why. I don't trust these fucking people. And they're proving exactly my case and justifying it for me because they're not willing to do anything. Disappointing as fuck, I tell you. All right, Mr. Uman, that was a good one. Wow. And Robin G checks in. Robin G, thank you again for your great support, always being on the channel. And she writes, my thought this morning was, what if? What if there really is not a list? Wait, Pam Bondi said, admitted, publicly spoke and said, the list is on my desk. At that time, would have been opportune for her to come out and go, they delivered me the list, but when I looked at the list, there were no names on it. The list didn't exist. Okay, so let's continue with Robin G. She says, what if there really isn't a list? And it turns out that Bondi is extremely embarrassed from building this case up due to her incompetence. And Trump is covering for her. That would explain it, would it not? That would be a great explanation. Well, there really wasn't a list, and I'm super embarrassed, and I made a big deal out of this thing, and now I'm caught. I'm a giant fucking idiot. I'm a ding-dong. I'm a boob. And I need you, President of the United States of America, to ruin your credibility, to destroy your ego, your image, right? Your legacy. Trump is going to destroy his image and legacy because Pam Bondi is a moron? You see, they might try and give us stories like that, right? But when we really dig down and examine them, because Robin, you're not the only one that has come up with that. What if, how do I fucking wrap my head around this? So we out here, you, I, all of us, we use our conspiracy theory IQ, which is 120 and above. We use our conspiracy theory IQ to try to come up with, well, how do we make this make sense, right? Because that's what everyone says. Make this make sense, please. So we come up with things like this. Maybe Pam Bondi got it wrong. She got some bad information. So she doesn't want to come clean because then she looks dumb. Well, she ends up looking even dumber. So now she needs the president to cover for her. And she's a really nice person who works really hard. So that's what Trump's doing. But when we examine the information, what was said, what was promised, what we were told she has information. Then we were told, no, it's at the Southern District of New York FBI field office. And that guy said, no, I'm not giving you that information, Pam Bondi. I'm not giving that information to you, Mr. Trump. And that dude got fucking fired. Does everyone remember that? Oh, man, you remember that shit? Yeah, he didn't put his hand up, but he's shaking his head, right? He got fired. He walked out of the office and everyone clapped. Oh, you're so brave, you sack of worthless, treasonous shit. You're so brave. Fucking clowns. And he left. And then allegedly, a truckload, not Robin, not a file folder, not an envelope, not a small box, a truckload of information was driven from New York to D.C. Where did they put it? I never saw a truck or a truckload full of boxes, right? We never saw that. So we have to come up with these ideas trying to explain it. She's got a truckload of information. She opened it up and said, it's all bullshit. Oh, please hold on to that thought there. Thank you. Yes, that's a good one. That's a great one for next. That's why Uman gets the big bucks. All right. The truckload of information. Okay, Pam, it's a truckload. Now, if there was nothing in there, Robin, she should have came out and said, I got a truckload of paperwork, and it's all superfluous, non-related bullshit. Nothing new. Sorry about that. Right? We've got nothing. It's been destroyed. It's been lost. It's been stolen. It's been sequestered by the evil bastards. We've got nothing. Sorry. We're fucked. She could have said that. But no, we were told there's a truckload. We're like, okay, it's going to take a week or two to go through the truckload stuff, right? Check every letter, every page, every number, everything, right? Check all the names. In fact, that's what she said she was doing. They were going through and reading all the paperwork to get the names and to protect the innocent people, right? But yeah, so Global Impact says, why was Bondi so confident when she said they had terabytes of videos of Epstein and his clients with children, etc.? That was said with confidence, not megabytes, terabytes, folks. A kilobyte is 1,000 pieces of information. 20 kilobytes, you got a picture. A megabyte is 1,000,000 pieces of information. A gigabyte is billions. A terabyte is like our national debt. Trillions. Trillions and trillions and trillions of pieces of data that come together that make up all this information. Terabytes. For example, high definition, super high definition movie, 2-hour movie, super high definition, 5 gigabytes. Yeah. We're talking hundreds of hours of bullshit. These fucking people are evil bastards. Right? Pam Bondi said she has it on her desk. Pam Bondi has terabytes of videos. Pam Bondi claimed she was going through it and she was going to remove innocent names. Right? And the story changed every week, every couple of days. The lie just got bigger and bigger and bigger. When you've made a mistake, you say, whoops, I made a mistake. You don't go, oh, no, this and this and this and this and this and this, right? And you just make the lie bigger. Well, it becomes ridiculous. Right? It becomes ridiculous. So be yourself. Tell the truth. Right? It'll set you free, they say. Well, if the truth shall set you free, Pam Bondi and now Trump have enslaved themselves in this. They're embroiled in it. They're in the pot with the boiling water, and they're the ones that lit the fucking fire and turned the heat up. Right? They're the ones that did this to themselves, and they're doing it to America, and they're doubling down. What a world, my friends. What a world. Man, we got some great comments coming out of the crowd today. Great. It's great. Chin Music checks in. He says, something has really changed. Maha, Make America Healthy Again, okays mRNA injections for children as young as 6 months. We've got nothing on fixing the census. Weapons are being sent to Ukraine. Epstein, who's that? Been a bad week for the public trust. Oh, you bet. Now, Alex Jones today said the Department of Justice is stopping the Food and Drug Administration from removing fluoride out of the water, calling it a toxic chemical. It is a fucking toxic chemical. Now, Alex Jones, can you trust him to tell us the truth? Well, he is a showman. He's loud. He's obnoxious. But he's been very right on many things. Another failure, right? Right. We're supposed to have making America healthier, making America great. Since when does giving amnesty to tens of millions of illegals that are here working in factories and farms and restaurants and hotels. How does that make us great again? If diversity is so great, why don't these motherfuckers go make their own countries better and safer and more prosperous? Diversity doesn't help us. Including fruitcakes doesn't help us. Does it help us to have Rashid Tlaib, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Ilhan Omar? Does that diversity help us? Does dollar store discount Hakeem Jeffrey make America freer, better, safer, healthier, greater? No. Does Jamie Raskin? Does Senator Shifty, I shit my pants, bug-eyed Schiff? Hey, Adam, weren't you in a hotel with a little boy? Didn't that little boy end up dead? Whatever happened to that, Adam? Literally, folks, these are some sick fucking people. It has been, Chin, I think you're being generous, and I know you're not, I'm not making fun of you, brother. But a bad week is really a generous way to say it. It has been a horrifyingly fucked up week. Yeah, it's been a bad week, brother. Right? A lot of things all of a sudden have become, well, they've changed, but they become crystal fucking clear. Crystal clear. All of a sudden, we can see the uniparty is the uniparty. Right? The national bird is not an eagle. It is a fucking vulture. And you got the right wing and the left wing of the same filthy carrion. That means a bird that eats the dead flesh. The United States, now it's a vulture. It lives off the flesh of children, off the backs of its own people it kills. It sends our brave men and women to war to enrich these assholes on Wall Street and to satisfy their masters in foreign nations. It's unbelievable, folks. And what's interesting, and I don't want anyone to think this is new. Here's the fact, and this is a gruesome, horrifying fact. It's always been this way. It has always been this way. That governments go to war for their own benefit, and the people pay the fucking price. Whether it's a government run by a king or a pope or a government run by supposedly its own people. It really is discouraging. It really is. It's incredibly discouraging. You guys know that patriotic Americans, delivered over $80,000 in equipment and aid to Texas, right, to feed the 3,000 first responders, volunteers, and help the people there. That's what patriots did. That's how people help each other, right? You know what the Democrats have done? They made anti-Jesus shirts mocking those who died in this weather modification flood, right, that attacked and killed people and destroyed property. That's what government was all about. The Democrats, they love that shit. Absolutely horrifying. Right. Fox and Friends. Well, they want the Fox and Friends hosts. They're asking Trump, give us the answers about Epstein. It is a ticking time bomb. Folks, I want you to know, and I know we've got a couple more questions we can get to. This information will come out if we keep demanding it. It may not be the complete list, but they're not going to have any choice. This is one of those do or die moments. This is a line in the sand. You either do this and do your fucking job, or this country is going to go down in its current form. because we don't have a country. If the government will not protect its own citizens, protect children, it has the names of criminals, and it will not prosecute. If they will not do that, we do not have a fucking country. Do not be silent. Make these fucking scumbag pedophiles pay for their crimes. All right, Mr. Uman, let's have a little bit more. We got just a little time left. And Uman said a mosque. That's where Muslims go to indoctrinate themselves. A mosque was allegedly targeted and torched in Spain today. They're saying that Spaniards are fighting back. Now, you know what? Fuck them. Muslims all over Europe and in Canada and in America and all around the world, guess what they want? They want to destroy Christianity. They want to take over our countries. They want to murder the men. They want to rape the women and enslave them. And they also burn churches. How many hundreds of churches? Man, care to take a guess? It's in the hundreds. They burn them. So a mosque was burned. Ooh, too bad. Fuck you guys. In China, guess what they do? And I believe now in India, they either don't allow them or they go around and they tear them down. Because in China and now in India, they have realized that Islam is not a religion. It is a cult of destruction. It is a cult of death. It is a cult of conquering other people. It has a recipe and a formula on doing just that. How to go to war, how to destroy, how to take something over. That is it. And by obeying its rules in the Holy Quran, you are ordered to kill, enslave, destroy, and murder. That's it. Period. I had some nice discussions about people, and they know, and I've met them, folks. I've met what we would call moderate Muslims, because they're not a bunch of bloodthirsty fucking maniacs. So what's the problem? It's the bloodthirsty maniacs, right? Not all billionaires are evil, folks, but the evil billionaires are motherfucking evil, and they need to be taken care of. You see the problem here? It's always, the bad ones. And they give everyone else a bad name. They make everything bad, right? Every black person you see isn't a drug dealer from a corner in South Chicago who's going to bust a cap in someone's ass. No, right? But the bad people give everyone else a bad name. Of course, there are white racists. Does that mean every white person out there is racist? No, but listen to some of these black racists. They'll tell you that. This is where we're at in this country. Everyone has their back against the wall. They're nervous. They're scared. They're looking around, and we're being threatened. We're being threatened religiously. We're being threatened politically. We're being threatened professionally. We're being threatened our families, our lives, our country, everything. We're under threat. And the fucking president of the United States is so afraid of something that he will not give us an explanation for, that he is willing to make a complete ass out of himself. I'd like to know, because it's that bad. I'd like to know what it is. It's that bad. I agree. It's got to be that bad, because I really don't believe, honestly, that Trump is a pedophile, scumbag, piece of shit criminal. A lot of people are saying that, well, he won't get out the list. He must be on the list. I have such a hard time believing that, even though it has the appearance of it, that he's protecting them in order to protect himself. I think it's got to be something else, right? Because if he was a pedophile, follow me on this. If Trump was a pedophile, we wouldn't have to release the entire fucking list to find him on it. The Democrats, the Mossad Israeli connection, the deep state, All they would have to do is produce a couple of pictures, a video of Trump with underage girls, and they could leave everyone else in the safe zone. All the bankers, all the Israelis, all the royal families, all the billionaires and corporate masters, all the aristocrats, they could just stay off to the side and leave Trump front and center with a couple incriminating pictures. You bet. Incriminating video or two. A sworn affidavit from one of his victims. Right? The only victim of rape that they could bring out against Trump was a psychotic, sex-crazed, moronic, shitty actress named Jean Carroll, who had zero evidence, and her testimony was demonstrably wrong from the fashion and the time and the place. That's the only person that they could drag out. Somebody who has rape fantasies that she talked about on television. That's it. That's what they got. Oh, yeah, folks. That's going to take care of it for today. Chance favors the prepared mind is yours. Get prepared. Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense. And I want to thank everybody who is supporting the channel through donations to keep the lights on, keep the tuna fish in, spam, rice, beans, all of it. Anyways, thank you guys very much. And please share all the videos with everybody. They need to be red-pilled. They need to wake the hell up. And they need to get ready because it's going to get stupid. We're talking SHTF stupid. Hang on. Here it comes.